My mom's voice cut through the dinner table like a blade. Everything stopped. Forks froze. Conversations died. I looked up slowly. "Excuse me? You heard me," she said coldly. "If you want to stay part of this family, you start contributing. Right now." For a second, I thought she was joking. But she wasn't smiling. And neither was anyone else. My dad didn't even look at me. He just kept eating, like this had nothing to do with him. And my brother? He leaned back in his chair, watching quietly, almost amused. "How much?" I asked calmly. 50,000, she replied without hesitation. The number felt unreal. 50,000? "Yes," she said. "Your brother is starting a business. We're all helping. You should too." I glanced at him. He didn't say a word, didn't deny it. Why would he? He had never been the one asked to give anything. That had always been my role. "And if I don't?" I asked quietly. That's when everything changed. "Then leave," she said. Simple, cold, final. Because no one in this family keeps someone who doesn't give back. Silence filled the room. No one disagreed. No one defended me. Not even a single word. I looked around the table. At the people I had spent my whole life trying to please. Trying to be enough for. And in that moment, something inside me went quiet. Not broken. Just done. This wasn't about money. It never was. It was about control. About knowing I would say yes. Like I always had. I picked up my glass. Took a slow sip. Set it down. Then I stood up. The sound of my chair echoed through the silence. All eyes turned to me, waiting, expecting me to give in. Instead, I reached into my pocket, pulled out my keys, and placed them gently on the table. "I choose to leave." My mom blinked, confused. "What?" I met her gaze calmly. "You gave me a choice," I said. Then I paused. So I made one. No anger, no hesitation. Just truth. I turned and walked toward the door. No one stopped me. Of course they didn't. Because they still thought I'd come back. Like I always did. But this time, they were wrong. The door closed behind me, and just like that, I had nothing. No home. No family. No backup plan. Just a bag and silence. The first night was the hardest. Not because I was scared, but because everything finally sank in. They didn't expect me to leave. They expected me to come back. Apologize. Pay. Accept my place. But I didn't. I couldn't. Because something inside me had already changed. I found a cheap place to stay. Small. Bare. But it was mine. No pressure. No demands. No conditions. Just space to breathe. The next morning, reality hit. I needed money. Not to prove anything to them, but to build something for myself. So I worked. Anything I could get. Long hours. Late nights. Jobs that drained me physically, but slowly rebuilt me mentally. Because every day I survived on my own was proof that I never needed them in the first place. Weeks turned into months. I saved. Learned new skills. Took risks I was always too afraid to take before. Because now, there was nothing left to lose. And that freedom, it changed everything. I stopped thinking like the person they controlled, and started thinking like someone building a future. My future. Then one opportunity changed everything. A small project at first. Nothing big. But I treated it like it was everything. Put in time, effort, focus. And it paid off. One project became 2, then 5, then more. Slowly, quietly, I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was growing. A year later, my life looked completely different. Stable income, my own place, my own name. Everything they said I couldn't do, I did. Without them, without their approval, without their control. And the most surprising part? I didn't miss them. Not the way I thought I would. Because once you stop begging for love, you realize how peaceful life can be without it. Then one evening, my phone rang. Unknown number. I stared at the screen for a moment. Something felt familiar. I answered. Hello. There was a pause. Then a voice I hadn't heard in over a year. You really left. My grip tightened slightly. My mom. Of course. Not when I struggled. Not when I disappeared. But now. Now she called. And something in her tone told me. This wasn't about concern. This was about something else. Something they needed. But what she said next made it very clear. They hadn't changed at all. We need your help, my mom said. Of course. Not how are you? Not we miss you. Just need. I stayed silent. She continued quickly, like she knew I might hang up. Your brother's business, it didn't work out. We're in a difficult situation. I closed my eyes for a second. 50,000. That was the price they put on me. And now, they were calling me to fix what that money couldn't. And I asked calmly. We thought maybe you could help, she said. Thought. Not asked. Not apologized. Just expected. Like nothing had changed. Like I was still that person. I let the silence stretch. Long enough for it to feel uncomfortable. Then I spoke. You gave me a choice that night, I said quietly. She didn't respond. I remember it clearly. I continued. Pay or leave. Another pause. And I chose to leave. Her voice softened slightly. That doesn't mean you're not family. I almost smiled. Then why did it only matter when I had something you needed? Silence. Because there was no answer. There never was. I took a slow breath. Not angry. Not emotional. Just clear. I hope things work out for you, I said calmly. And before she could say anything else, I ended the call. No guilt. No hesitation. Just peace. Because this time, I wasn't choosing between money and family. I was choosing myself. And for once, that was more than enough.